Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Road to Grandmaster series. In this series, I take you through the behind-the-scenes training, as well as the over-the-board chess tournaments that I am playing to earn the Grandmaster title. And this is episode number 19. This episode is special for several reasons. Number one, I'm currently in a tank top because earlier today I went to the gym and for the first time in my life, I squatted 185 pounds. I now have a 255-pound deadlift and a 185-pound squat. You could go check that out on my social media in case you don't believe me. So we're getting jacked out here. We're working on our mental and we're also working on our physical, something I highly recommend all of you to do. Number two, I'm about to tell you my tournament schedule for the entire summer. So without further ado, I will be playing July 10th to 14th here in New York City. I will also be playing July 17th to 21st. So it's a month of chess with me as part of this Road to GM series. Then I will be playing 2 tournaments in August. Now, I have received many requests like, Gotham, can I come watch the tournament? No. Unlike top-level events where Magnus and Fabiano and Hikaru and all those players play, there really is no room for spectators. Space is very limited. I would recommend watching at home. That's what I would recommend because there's just no space. The space in New York City is very expensive. But you can follow along here, and I will try to live stream, so save those dates, and I will be uploading recaps. Now, in this episode, I am covering a very painful defeat that I suffered in the Madrid Chess Festival. Some of you may have already seen it, but the lesson that I learned from the game, the lessons, I should say, with Coach Nick Sans, as well as another one of my worst games from Madrid. So we got to upload our good moments and our bad moments. If you want to unlock all of the Grandmaster lessons that I'm doing, those are available on the Patreons, just $7, and you get access to everything. And also, if you clicked on this video in the first 2 days that it's out, July 6th or 7th, 2024, all my courses are 33% off. So I am sponsoring my own video today. If you enjoy the content, you want to check out some of the courses, go ahead and check them out. Road to GM continues, my friends. Enjoy this lesson and check out the courses if you'd like. And I'm going to go watch the second half of Netherlands versus Turkey.
This was probably your worst game.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it also, it's the same topic. You're playing a system, you don't know the plan. Yeah, it's like, you're going for a fight. Like, okay, you put out the pieces, like H3, 92, whatever. But you quite don't know what to do next.
Yeah, I did not, yeah.
That's I think, something you want to eradicate in general. When you are going for some fight, at least you should have at least studied something, that you have at least some ideas. Yeah, so what to do, at least directions. And here it's like you're completely blank page. And again, yeah, you started to feel very uncomfortable. I saw your recap. You said Rook C1 is a stupid move, etc. Yeah, maybe, but I think you make it sound way worse than it is.
Yes, but if you think about why I played Rook C1, it's like beyond idiotic.
I remember, yeah, I remember.
I mean, he played Rook C8. And I thought he wants to go here and here. So literally, why would I not just go here?
So why wouldn't you just take the pawn on H7, yeah?
And yes, yeah, no, of course, like, yeah, I mean, okay, I thought he plays H6, and in my defense, this was after the night where I fell asleep at 5 in the morning. I did not prepare at all. I was exhausted. I was in a really terrible mood. And even with all of that, I should have played a Queen's Indian, and even if I claim I don't know much about the Queen's Indian, I know even less about this position, so...
That is fair. That is
so.
Fair.
A series of bad events, and man, I mean, here I remember I thought I was really hoping he just blundered mate. Like, I thought like that would be a really nice way to win the game. You know, when you're hoping for this, it's bad.
That is bad.
And yeah, here I just thought he's taking over. I thought Queen C6, like, oh my god. I mean, yeah, he's already better.
And that's what brings the next question. Was this only purely psychological, or you really did not like this position? Because when I look at your position, I quite don't understand why you like it so much for black. Because I thought that maybe you had this a bit too much high opinion about his center. Like
Maybe.
he plays e5, you have no plan, you immediately think my position sucks. But is it really so bad? And this is where you could have done what I was recommending you to do when you don't know what to do. slowly improve your position. I mean, don't overthink. I mean, don't think about very big things, your place in the galaxy, whatever. Just make some small moves, improve your position, and see where it takes you. So, for example, d takes on d takes, which is kind of what you did.
Yeah.
You played king h1, you played knight e2, and yeah, I'm not sure. So here you decided to hit a pawn on e5. I was thinking that maybe this was the moment where you could have started to improve your pieces. The bishop on h2 kind of hits the pawn on e5, so it's understandable you don't want to move it. But by the way, this bishop on h2, it got stuck there for the entirety of the game, and you never got around of improving this piece. So, yeah, this was really strange. And you tried to hit this pawn, queen b1. Again, maybe what you could have done is just slowly maneuver, do nothing. Bishop c2, you kind of did this, went back.
Well, yeah, if I can just, so, yeah, I'll tell you. So, I played DE, so right here, I thought, okay, I'm clearly worse, even though it's plus 0.6. So I thought, okay, I'm clearly worse, I'm down on time, brain is clearly not functioning, but let's fight. I mean, I don't like my position. I think I'm worse. I'm not worse, but I thought, okay, let's fight. So he went here. I very quickly took, because I thought there's no point tanking, and I thought this must be the best move. So I played it pretty fast. I played this fast, obviously. I thought it was normal. So here he spent like some time. He spent 12 minutes. He didn't quite know what the next step was. And by this point, my confidence was a little bit restoring, because I realized it's not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, I don't know where his attack is. The problem is I didn't know what to play. I really wanted to play b4. And it actually was the best move, because of course I have this trick. I was like, is this weakening? Again, it's like I thought already my position is bad. Why am I making another target for him? Like, this becomes weaker. So then I kind of doubled my rooks kind of quickly, trying to play fast. Here I was really stuck. Here I didn't know what to do. I mean, I thought I can improve whatever. But to be honest, my strategy of like doing nothing paid off, because I thought this was a mistake. I mean, I thought he just immediately gave me b5.
Yeah.
And I was happy how I fought back from moves 20 to 27, because I was very negative, and right here I thought, oh, I'm gonna win. Like, he blundered.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I had a chance, and then
And then this weird moment happened where you didn't take the pawn. Just quite.
Dude, this was unbelievable. I mean, okay, of course, like bishop. Would you play bishop b5 or bishop c2?
Bishop b5, of course. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I thought, like, you know, stop e4, then slowly. But I thought, okay, he has to play e4. He's much worse. I cannot explain to you why I didn't take this pawn. I think I just thought I couldn't take it. I thought maybe he plays like f3, and I can't move my rook because I lose e4. But I don't know.
Some mental blackout. Yeah, this is something you also want to identify during the game, that you don't have these moments. Very strange, because
Can I just
what you
click
played, yeah, what you played is you played b4, knight e3, and now took it. And you basically reached the same position, but now you are not having an extra pawn.
Yes.
There's no logic. Yeah.
No. It's yeah.
Yeah, that was a really strange game. But if I may, I don't really want to dissect this game too much, because it's like you were feeling psychologically uncomfortable, and probably a key element here is the psychology, feeling well, having a lot of confidence, so you're losing it. But I just want to talk about this position. It's very funny, right, that you mentioned that you were worse here, and yet none of Black's pieces are advanced further than the 6th rank. You know, this is also something you just have to remind yourself. You know, I mean, come on, I have done nothing wrong. You know, I mean, he's like, there's nothing over the 6th rank, and you have no obvious weaknesses. So have a little trust in your position. But again, it's purely psychological. Is that you're not happy, you don't know what your plan is, and you convince yourself you're doing badly.
Well, in my defense, there was two things past the sixth rank in a second, but I guess even here it's not as. Thought it was so bad, man. I was like, why am I allowing this? Like, what am I doing? But it's
But would you agree?
it's plus 0.5. Like, it's better for white. Like,
Yeah, but would you agree that, or maybe this is a wrong thought, would you agree that you might underestimate the strength of the pawn center?
maybe
Like,
I'd probably need a few more examples, but I don't know if it's this. It's this. Like, it's tough to say. I want to say maybe 30% of it is the center, but it's maybe 70% the flow of the game. So not having an idea what to do, playing Rook C1 and being really annoyed at myself, playing this like Knight G5, Knight E4. I thought it was a very silly plan, and then this is again an extension of round 6. Just a lot of negativity. So then I misevaluated the position. And this one was way worse than the previous game. Like, this game, the previous game I had a nice position, but I was just, like, I was fighting myself. This game, I just thought I had a bad position. And
I mean, you tried to do everything to lose this game, yeah, but you did not.
Correct. Yes. Even at the end, I mean, I didn't take on E4, which, to be honest, it's one of these things, like, I just decided I couldn't. Like, I just like, I can't take the pawn. I don't even know. I guess, look, suppose not every game is going to be perfect after every. Oh, here I almost lost the game. I almost played. No. I almost played here. Rook H3.
Yeah.
So I saw Rook H3 because I actually thought I was maybe winning because I saw this Rook C1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought, oh my god! And then I saw Queen F6, E5. I might be winning. I'm sitting like, holy shit! What am I doing? He's Rook H3.
Mm-hmm.
So that right away I said, okay, draw. Time to draw. I cannot calculate anything. I mean, 3 hours of sleep. Like, nothing is working. So I thought, okay, we're gonna trade. Here I thought about playing Bishop D7. I don't know. I went here. I thought this was fine. And then here I thought, oh, I'm so clever. Rook B1, Bishop E4. He can't take because I have Rook E1.
Yeah.
And the same thing. And he should have probably. I mean, I had a feeling he was winning with like one of these kind of obscure moves. But we both saw this, and now it's just a draw. I still thought I played well to defend it, but.
Yeah, you played well, and also of course, very nice that you were following the threefold repetition. By the way, I was thinking that actually, if you are not like completely sure, you could even claim it anyway, because the worst thing that can happen to you, I mean, they give him 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I did actually. In fact, when I claimed, I was like, I'm not even sure it's 3 times. Even when they confirmed it, I was like, I'm not sure it was 3 times.
Yeah, so I think it's a good try. At least once you can try it. Yeah, so you're not losing anything. They're not going to deduct time from you. So this is very, very nice.
I was so annoyed. I was like, come on.
Oh, but I mean, he has to do this, and I think that you would have done this. He should have done this. He is completely legally entitled to do this, and he should do this. There's like some kind of unwritten gentleman's rule that you try for good 25, 30 moves, you see your opponent holds, then you make a draw. You don't really push for 50 moves, but you gotta do this. You always have to try this with black. Otherwise, it's a position with no risk. With the next pawn, maybe your opponent blunders something. So there should be like no hard feelings for you, like at all. You're annoyed. You can like make expressions. This is, by the way, a trick of some players. They like psychologically trying to undermine the opponent, sending some emotions like, oh, what are you doing here? Yeah, is it? But the entire
I did a couple times.
You want to convince the opponent. Let's just agree. I know this. Let's just agree to a draw, right? But you understand. You would do the same.
Yes. A couple times I notated my move, and I didn't put my pen down. I just kind of held my pen and just kind of looked at him, and then I would like look off, and then I would look at him, and I was like, what are we doing? And he kept playing. Nice. I offered him a draw here, and he declined and moved his king. And then I was like, I looked at the score sheet. I thought, I think it's 3 times. So I claimed, and I was very happy it was 3 times because I recognized. But yeah, for me, okay, previous game, trust yourself more, play a little bit faster, stop being so negative. A lot of the lessons, the same lessons apply here. Like, I've heard Hikaru say this. Nowadays, almost every position is in the balance close. Like, you cannot be that much worse. Your advice, what could I have possibly done so horribly wrong to be much worse? Like, I like this concept of his pieces are on the 3rd rank. Like, how can he possibly be any better? And specifically the opening, I'm not doing it again. Like, I would really like to play an opening, not be improvising, and even if I don't know it extensively, like, just not play something I have literally never played before.
This was also against Lelis. It was more or less exactly the same. Yeah, so against Lelis, you played okay, whatever. It's an interesting position, but your first time seeing this in your life.
But I was confident. Like, the whole game I was confident.
Yeah, you were confident. Yeah.
And so, and I played pretty fast that game, okay, up until the end, but I could have done the same in these games, but just played more confidently and somehow, I kept falling back into this, like, oh, much worse, like, what am I doing? I'm not playing with a plan. Maybe against what
you can do during the game is find a way to remind yourself that wrong thoughts, bad thoughts lead to the bad result. This is something you have to remind yourself during the game, is that do not underestimate your position. If you don't have overconfidence, then you remind yourself where the bad thoughts lead you. Yeah, so it's like always remind yourself, do not think bad thoughts, bad things but it's easy to say.
The first 5 games, I don't think a single negative thought crossed my mind. Like, not one. I mean, against Pepe, when he had an advantage, I thought, okay, I'll figure it out. Like, against Sosa, I blundered in the end game. Of course, I was very unhappy, but I thought, I don't have any time to cry. Like, let's keep playing. Suddenly, I'm winning again. Like, I have this A pawn and I'm winning. Against Akira, the game was easy. Against Diego, the game was pretty easy, but he played fast, so I felt a bit stressed. But I knew for the first 5 games, I didn't have a single negative thought, maybe against Lelius, and then I still, stabilized, and I played Rookie 1, and I thought everything was fine. But 6, lots of negative thoughts.
This game was also the stress.
Maybe.
You felt that the goal is actually very achievable.
I'm not gonna lie, that never crossed my mind.
Okay.
Maybe it's subconscious, but the fans were asking me after the games, how much points do you need for Norm? You close? And I'm like, I don't care about the Norm. I mean, I just want to play. Maybe subconsciously, and I guess, okay, it goes into the 8th game, whatever. Like, I just wanted to win. I just wanted to play well, and I just wanted to win. Norm, not Norm. But once these 2 games finished, 6 and 7, that night I thought, like, there's no way Julio Suarez is going to beat me. I mean, I went to that game completely, like, I shook off these 2 bad games, and I thought, I need to play the game of my life. Like, if I win this game, if I get a chance and I can beat Julio, I make a GM Norm. Like, the tournament is over. So let's go and summon all of the energy that we possibly can.
Okay.
I was very positive.
And it was working up to a certain moment.
Yeah, so you're right. Like, the 2 games where I had all my negative thoughts, I almost, I didn't really almost lose one of them, but I almost lost to Alonso. And this game, I think I got overconfident. I got too hyped up, Man, I was so happy he played this line. Like, I was so ready to play this A6, C5, and oh man, it was perfect. Like, he played the line I knew. He was playing something he maybe he prepared or whatever, but queen. I don't know. I'm obviously very excited about the whole game, but I thought, like, F4, why? He's letting me go bishop E4. What is he doing? Like, everything he did, I thought was a bad move.
Yeah, this was very nice. So I remember watching you. You had a lot of confidence, and he was feeling uncertain because, I had a feeling. Did I mention to you this before the game? I think I did. that he might be a bit conflicted with his feelings. Does he really need to play this burn all the bridges? So
Yeah.
does he really need, because he definitely sensed that you are in a great form. So he was a bit undecided. I think so, because he couldn't quite decide, should he like, yeah, try to beat you at all costs, or should he try to make a draw? And he was like, feeling extra stress, etc. So that's why it led to this, where you start to take over the game. Yeah, but it was a brilliant opening. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. There's nothing I can add. I mean, the brilliant moment to play knight e4, f6. Maybe f5 was a bit more accurate. Not really sure, but all of this led to this moment where I remember in the recap you said that you were considering bishop f5. What I was thinking that maybe you're choosing between f5, which I think is a very obvious move, and knight f5. I thought that maybe you want to play safe.
Yeah, I calculated. Okay, sorry. Like even rook takes. I mean, rook takes, of course, is
There's no
fine.
risk. There's no risk. You put the
Yeah.
bishop before, and you're never going to risk it. And I thought that you're maybe conflicted with your feelings, like, do I want to play for draw? Do I want to make more?
No. I just wanted to beat him. Like I thought the second I found this f6 idea, I was like, oh, that's it. Game is over. Like I'm gonna win. It's just a matter of time. It's actually like it's bad. It's probably not good to think this way. But I sensed his energy too. Like he's allowing me to get all of this, and he came up with this move. And yeah, I saw I could play it safe. Well, I also missed this, which is like a bit annoying.
Yeah, I remember.
So okay, I thought let's play f5, let's stabilize.
But f5 was a very easy move.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not really sure. Were you aware of this idea of g5? You definitely have seen something like this before.
No.
No. Okay, that explains it, because this is a typical idea. For example, in the Khan. In the Khan course, there are some moments exactly like this, where there's a pawn on d7, the pawn is on b5, the bishop is on b7, exactly like this. And then black plays king h8, rook g8, g5, or he plays h6, king h7, g5. I thought when I was looking at this, I thought I would crush the guy here like in 10 moves. Because it just feels that your position is just playing out itself, and you did pick this up. But apparently, now you did not know. You did not know this idea, but this is a very powerful idea, because the bishop on e4, obviously, if you open up the g file.
Yeah, that's sort of what I deduced. Like once I played f5, I thought I'm gonna attack him. I thought he should have played much more like I thought he should play for this, because then I don't. But
he should.
This, like the second bishop d6 happened, I was like, the game's over. Like, what is he doing? And
here you rush with the g5, I think, because he could have taken.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, I know. I saw that he could have like set up in a way where, but it was almost psychological. I mean, I didn't even like 2.5 minutes. I just thought like that's it. I need to put the pressure, and he's playing like this.
But look at this. You again underestimate the center. I think this is something that's slightly, you are miscalculating things. You are misvalidating things. Again, you're subconsciously giving the center a very big credit. Like here, after knight e5, you automatically assume that this is great for you.
It's not queen g3, right? And like bishop f4 or.
But even this is, why is this so great? Why this should be great for you? Because okay, you have 3 pawns, but what about them? It's like, I think it's a bit subconsciously you're thinking, I'm taking the center, I'm going to play e5, I'm doing great. But there's definitely more elements at play here, like king safety, like weak. King safety, even bishop f3 is a move here. Why would you even be better here? Yeah, so that's why this g5 is actually a mistake. You are slipping the opportunity here, and you could have been more cautious with
h6,
h6, king h7, rook g8, g5. Yeah. So this g5 actually gave him an opportunity to escape f takes on g5 and queen e3, and he did not pick this up. I think he was like psychologically dominated, as you said. Yeah, you were like.
Yeah, I did see that plan of getting, the queen on e5, and I definitely thought, oh, I have big center, must be good.
That's why I'm saying, I mean, this is not the only game, like a previous game as well. You had the pawn on e5, and you're like automatically thinking, I'm doing badly. Like, okay, it
Yeah.
was 70% psychology and 30% of the center, but
This was also like 80% psychology. Like,
okay.
I mean, I didn't like look, you know me obviously, like when he played here, of course I thought play it slow. But then I thought like no, now is the time to strike. But mostly because I thought if I wait, this is actually a very decent. Yeah, I didn't have the patience to sit and calculate, all of this. And I thought,
But
I don't
also for
know.
your opponent, it's not so obvious because he might be thinking that you are actually provoking him to play b4, and then he creates some weaknesses at the queen side. And ultimately, what does he create at the queen side? Because it's always so much easier to play against the king. But then again,
Yeah.
what he should do anyway? He should do something. He should do something, and that's why I mean, yeah, before a4, b5, he should do this. Any GM
Yeah.
will play this.
Yeah,
Um,
I actually also, I do have to say, I have a small blind spot sometimes. I mean, especially in Blitz. I play moves like g5, and my calculation ends. I mean, it obviously didn't end at queen g7. But sometimes I almost think like this is an untouchable pawn. Like the thing I'm offering is not touchable. They have to play around it. I sometimes do that, and it's completely not true. The other thing I saw here was this, actually. I saw like this. There's some lines where he can just hold the pawn.
yeah.
And I take, and I'm not even sure I'm like better here. Because I
Why
thought
would you
like,
be? I mean, why would
yeah.
you be better?
Yeah. So I definitely when I sat there, with my best poker face, thinking like he's completely, and yeah, he retreated, and I thought like, okay, well now he can still take. So he can still
Yeah.
take. I could have maybe played
H6 or
yeah,
or
yeah,
G takes an f4, yeah.
yeah. But now
But here
yeah.
something amazing happens. So okay, you got a bit overly confident, and for some reason I could not quite explain. You abandoned the idea to start a kingston attack. This is something I quite couldn't understand. Okay, you played 98, which quite doesn't make any sense because you like played g5, h6 with the intentions to start the kingston attack. So I think the logical follow-up should have been king h7, rook g8, and see what happens. And here suddenly you start to give attention to the bishop on d6. Yeah, that was really strange. So you push those pawns to the king side, and you decide, I want to win the bishop on d6. I want to get a pawn. Why?
I have spent like 2 weeks thinking about this game loosely, not every single day. And okay, much later in the game, there was this moment, he played h4, right? And I was trying to decide if take, king h7 was an easy concept to get my minus 2.8 or like the biggest advantage that I had, or if it wasn't so simple given, I don't know, given everything that was going on. But the way you just explained it to me, it puts the whole thing into perspective. I spent a long time wondering, like, during the game, I'm thinking, do I try to pry apart his center? What do I do? Do I play quickly? Whatever. But you make a very good point. It's like, I started a kingside attack, and then I just completely abandoned the construction site. Yeah. Like, I just left it, and I changed my plan to playing in the center.
That was strange. I mean, even though the engine likes it at some point, but I thought that there was the follow-up that was missing. The entire sequence of g5, is to exploit the fact that kingside is weak, that the bishop on d6 is doing nothing. You have a strong bishop on e4. So that's why it makes sense to continue, because actually this bishop should have been on e3 so that he stops this g5 from capping. The bishop on d6 is actually useless. It's completely out of the game. Bishop d6, queen on b6, they're not playing. And actually here, if I'm playing g5, that's what I'm saying, I would be more concerned if my opponent is going to try to kill my attack by playing f takes on g5 and give up the pawn on e5. But again, it was purely psychological, because your opponent was dominated. You play so quickly g5, he automatically assumes he cannot take because you get the center, and he trusts you completely. If your opponent was like super confident at the moment, I think he would just slam f takes on g5 like Sosa in the first game. He would totally play f takes on g5 here. and that's why this h6 was necessary. So yeah, this king set attack, rook c4 doesn't quite make sense because there's nothing happening in the center. And by the way, I remember what you said in the recap. You said d6 on e4, I'm almost winning. Something like this you said, but why?
No, but I said a lot of things. Like I said I didn't want to play DE4 because why the hell did I go here? Like,
right, that's a fair point.
Like,
look at this.
I mean,
you're in a game.
Yeah,
you
I thought about going here because I was like, well, I have to justify my rook being on c. Like, why am I right? So, but yeah, rook c4. If you look at the clock, I played it in 1 minute. I wanted to keep the foot on the gas, like put the pressure, and
But what I'm saying is that I'm just remember this one phrase you said. I get the pawn on e4. I have a pass pawn. I'm close to winning. And I was thinking, wait a second. Are you again overestimating the importance of the pass pawn? Of the importance of the central pawn? Yeah, it just keeps coming back. Like in the game against the previous guy you played with white, the Suarez. He has a pawn on e5. You think you are doing badly.
Alonso Garcia.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah. So now this guy, you have a pawn on e4. You think you're winning, but why? Yeah, that's why it's very interesting that somehow subconsciously I think that you overestimate these positions. You think I have a pass pawn, I have a very strong pawn center, I'm like close to winning. Or your opponent has a very strong pawn in the center, he is doing really great.
Yeah,
I think there's something here that we could maybe think how to fix it. But okay, I mean, still it goes down to this critical moment where old Levy came back, unfortunately at the wrong timing, and you completely missed what he wants to do. Yeah, because he plays h4, he wants to take double on g5. He wants to save the bishop on d6. Yeah, so this is where you started to go completely wrong. Yeah, this rook d8, you want to get the bishop on d6. The bishop on d6 doesn't matter. What you should have done is focus still on this open g file. It still could have been done, but the rook on c4 is pretty weird.
Yeah, even here I probably could have played. I mean, I know that the line is to take and play king h7. But yeah, so here, besides how you described it, like, okay, I played rook c4, knight d8, which don't really make sense if the point is a kingside attack. Besides that, somehow here, I was trying to find a way to like learn from this. I completely overestimated my king safety, and I obviously I suffered the loss because I completely underestimated the king safety. But I feel like I should not let him take twice. It's somehow like a small general thing. Like I need shelter. So even if I went here, which is not correct, like I need shelter. I need something. Yeah.
I agree. And also, I mean, it was pretty logical that not only you need the shelter, but also he's very much interested to take with a pawn to protect the bishop on d6 because he's also concerned about this. So it was like two reasons for you to either take with h4 and f4. But okay, what happened. And yeah, you started to burn here a lot of time, and I thought something bad is coming. You know, I just felt it. I just felt, and then I was looking at this position where you're like spending a lot of time and thinking, please don't play knight f7. I was like, please don't do this. You're like sitting and burning a lot of time. I don't think you're gonna play knight f7. Oh, you play knight f7, yeah, because here I think you completely, you again started to forget your opponent's moves. Again, the entire problem started with this very unfortunate fixating on the bishop on d6.
Yep.
Yeah, so it should have been straightforward kingside attack. I thought if you had like formulated yourself, I should be going at a kingside attack at the g file. You would have won the guy like in 20 moves from here. h6, king h7, rook g8, double the rook, go forward, yeah? And instead, somehow, you started to include this knight e8, rook c4, knight f7, got your attention to the bishop on d6, bit of overconfidence or something, I don't know, bad sleep, everything combined together.
No, it wasn't bad sleep. I like the way you described some of these things. And like I said, I mean, against Diego, there was moments I formulated, and in this game, this was a big psychological game. I mean, a lot of these moves were rooted in decent ideas, but a lot of psychology. And if I had just formulated, I mean, even like, okay, even if I go wrong, because I'm not always going to play perfectly, this was the worst, this was the losing mistake, actually, like h4. And it came after being put under a lot of clock pressure, so he was down 10-30, and, you know, he probably thought he was losing. Like, if I just sat for a second and just thought, like, who benefits if the position opens up?
Yeah.
And I just, like, took once. I mean, of course, the rook endgame is horrible for white. I saw this, by the way. Like, I thought this was very nice. I just thought that's it.
Yeah. But it's also a pretty weird sequence. You play rook c4, you don't take on e4.
I know, yeah, and I wasn't like thrilled, but even then, you know, like the previous game, I would have thought, oh, I'm spiraling out of control. But even here, I thought it's completely under control. It's completely under control. And yeah, right at the end, I spent 15 minutes. I only looked at queen f4, and queen h4 came as a complete, like, I played the move, and he played blitz rook e3, and I thought, like, oh boy, it's over.
The lesson, the takeaway from this is you can always remind yourself, this is what I wrote to you right after the game, the quality of the thought process decreases the longer you think.
Yep.
Don't think too much. Yeah, if you start to sit for like good 15, 20 minutes, you're thinking about this is a simple position. It's not like where you need to make like very groundbreaking decisions. Just go down to the basics, formulate simple ideas, and you execute them. Yeah. So so what I was saying,
you think too deep, it's going to be a bad thought.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think happened here, and it was already you sense that this is, by the way, a very slippery moment. You sense something is not quite right. You start to think for too long, and then mistake happens. So basically, it's already two mistakes thrown here with knight x on g5. I already could feel something is not right. Yeah, your king set attack is not there. The bishop on d6 stays. The rook on c4 is weird. Your pieces are scattered. There's no harmony.
Yep.
And yeah, I just combined. So this was a very, very dangerous moment here. Maybe you still could have continued something like king f7.
Oh, I saw this.
Queen h6.
Draw.
Ah.
But okay, the engine shows he doesn't even have to repeat. He can play like rook f4. He's like much better. Yeah. So yeah.
Here, I mean, I can formulate a couple of things. Like I have I cannot. Okay, you have to see like rook e3. I mean, you don't see rook e3. You see knight f7, knight h6, knight g4. It's very difficult to convince yourself it's not working. But maybe you can formulate it. I need to go for an attack. How do I go for an attack? I need to get the.
Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, I saw this, but I rejected because I.
That's a difficult one. That's a very difficult one.
Yeah, because it's just a pawn. I mean, ultimately, it's
a pawn for what?
Yeah.
For what?
I mean, I saw. I didn't want to do. It's the top line of the computer, but it's. I don't know. I didn't.
I saw this, and even if I would see this during the game, I would ask myself why.
Yeah, that's sort of.
I mean, I quite don't see why. If I get something real, some big attack, you know, I would maybe do it like this. I would see e3, but I would remind myself I can do this at the right moment. You know, let's not completely disregard the idea because maybe it's going to serve as a surprise value. So I can formulate the ideas what needs to be done. I need to get the rook on h8. So how to get the rook on h8? I play king f7, and I'm threatening rook h8. And if he plays king e2, now maybe e3 is interesting.
I just want to. We just got like a huge furniture delivery, and my wife is messaging, and I think I need to go help out with it.
Okay. So yeah, we are finishing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think let's wrap up here.
Yeah, let's
I don't mean
to. It's
to.
okay.
Thanks for watching episode 19 of Road to GM. I hope you enjoyed. And if you do enjoy these lessons, these abridged versions, you might enjoy the full 2-hour ones, which are on the Patreon for $7. Also, if you, like I said in the beginning, I gotta summarize it here. If you do enjoy the content, all the courses right now, 33% off, beginner, intermediate, openings, middle games, end games, you name it, I've got it. So, get out of here.